Welcome to Paper and Moose. Today there is no paper, there's no flea market, there's no auction, there's no estate sale. There is just this, Dead Horse Bay in Brooklyn, New York. I've come here to see what treasures we can find tossed up from the sea. Years of bottles, leather shoe soles, trinkets, things that have washed up from a landfill whose cap burst years ago. So join me on this actual certified bona fide treasure hunt, and let's see what treasures we can find from years past.
From the New York Times. Dead Horse Bay sits at the western edge of a marshland once dotted by more than 24 horse rendering plants, fish oil factories, and garbage incinerators. From the 1850s until the 1930s, the carcasses of dead horses and other animals from New York City streets were used to manufacture glue, fertilizer, and other products at the site. The chopped up, boiled bones were later dumped into the water. Taken from atlasobscura.com. During the 1920s, the marsh of the bay became a landfill, and in the 1930s, the landfill was capped, only to have it burst in the 1950s. Since that time, remnants of times past have been making their way to the shore of Dead Horse Bay.
We're getting sandy, and there's the ocean. Alrighty, let's see what treasures. Oh my goodness. Look at all this. There's just this is, you want sea glass. Oh my. Look at this. Wow. I hope I put my gloves. Oh, there's milk glass. I think I put my gloves in my bag. There's a shoe. They say the shoes are super common here. The soles. Wow. This is going to be a treasure hunt. So this is amazing. Sad but amazing. This is a neat piece. I did bring a bag. Oh, look at this red piece. With me. I do have gloves, which I should probably put it on. You know, I'll try. Oh, there's a piece with a handle. I'll try and keep. Look at the green. Oh my goodness. Look at that green. Is this? Again, I'm not using my gloves, so this is silly. Is that a shell? No, it's like a leaf to something. I like the color of that. So this is insane. You think all these things have just washed up over the years. I'm not gonna wear my glove. Don't yell at me. It's just too cumbersome, and it's much easier to pick without it. Where was that one with the handle? Look at this blue piece. Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable. You think this has been going on for how many years? Where do you even start? I came here because 2 viewers or subscribers to the channel told me that I should come here. Look at that piece. And that I would love it. This looks like it's from a fixture. Or like from like a bathroom. But they said that I should come here because I would love everything. That it would be a place that I would want to see, and boy were they right. But if you think during low tide, all these things that are out there that haven't been touched before, or they just keep going in and out with the waves. This is unbelievable. Listen to the sound. Oh my goodness. So when they were putting in the Belt Parkway, look at all these souls. Souls literally, and then maybe if you think figuratively too. That's a neat one. What's this? Oh my goodness. I did have a bucket, but I left it in my car because I didn't want to look. Because I think some people, they might have some concerns about picking things up from here and taking them. I mean, obviously this is pollution. This all here is pollution, but it's also treasures. So should it stay here? Oh my goodness, I can't wait for low tide. There's a whole jar. But should it stay here? Because you figure eventually it's just all going, I don't know. So we're going to try and be selective with what we pick. I do love these little pieces of pottery though. The colors. Here's another green one. Look at that. What's this? Oh, a shell. We'll leave that creature there. We don't want to take him. This is insane. So yeah, I want to be selective on what I pick. You know, obviously there's going to be plenty more for other people to come here, but oh my goodness. What's this? Oh, look with the flower. That's pretty. But this was a good time to come here. I came here on a Saturday, not summertime. 1 quart. Next week actually is Memorial Day weekend, so you know people aren't going to come here on this beach to swim for obvious reasons, but to get into the shell, to get into this area, I think they do. Oh, look at that piece. I think they do have a toll sometimes. I would love to find a nice whole bottle or a little toy. People have found a lot of toys here too, because sorry if I'm repeating myself, I'm jumping ahead of myself. This is just really exciting. But as I said, when they put in the Belt Parkway, they had to demolish, you know, sadly take away homes that were here. So the buildings that were here, everything was just left. So I lied. We did find paper. The Dime Savings Bank of Brooklyn, Coney Island branch. 1953. We'll have to keep this. That's amazing. How, I mean, that this survived here in the water, on the shore, through the waves for, you know, over 50 some years. Crazy. We did find paper. I made a fib. We find ephemera even along the beach, along the shorelines. Look, even the puppies out here digging for treasure. at that piece. Oh, Wilkes-Barre, PA. Oh my gosh. We'll have to take that one home. There's another pretty red one. I guess I should have brought my bucket, but I had good intentions. I just didn't want. The bag will be fine. Look at that pretty red piece. That's pretty. Still looking to find. There's some bone, I think. Little trinket. That paper was a great find for here, especially because it is from Brooklyn, so that was kind of cool. Some little toy, because again, I've seen pictures. Someone found a vintage Santa Claus candy container here. They posted it online, and then someone found a toy of a horse. Like, how appropriate is that? Bottles definitely fare better in keeping not being broken than the larger bottles. I did find one Coca-Cola bottle, but that was all busted and broken. So that right there, I think is the closest thing I'm going to get to a neat figure or a toy. No. I'm still gonna take it. What's this? Yeah. Halloween decor from Dead Horse Bay. have a pretty, I found this too. It's the lid to a compact. I know it says loose pressed powder, air spun. Oh, maybe what if we would find that figure's head along the way? That'd be crazy. But the seagulls get to live amongst all this treasure every day. There's modern wrapper. This one little kid, he was walking with his dad, and he goes, how do all these people lose all these shoes? He was more excited about finding crabs than all this great other stuff. I think there's another purse. There seems to be a lot of those too. Or bags. So what did we pick up today at the Dead Horse Bay? A whole plate of goodness, as I like to call it. Let's start off with some of the bigger pieces. I did wash these pieces. I used some Simple Green on them, and then just regular water. They do still have the bay smell to them, so I'll probably leave them sit outside for a little bit. But I picked up these 2 tiles. There's a black one and a white one. I thought that they would be neat to display some of these things on, or even just to use in my other displays as a kind of base to add some color. Who knows what building these came out of. I picked up this. I don't know what it is. Maybe some kind of spool kind of thing. I'm not sure, but I thought that I would be able to use it as a type of stand. So, say for instance that's not going to work, so it'd have to go this way. So you'd have a little tray, a little tile with this on top. Then, you could put some things on top to display, more little pieces. There was a larger white ceramic piece, but that had a small hole in it where water could get in, and I had spent probably about 5 minutes trying to shake the water out, and there was still a lot in there, so I just left that there for someone else. Let's see, some of the glass items. This, which is probably part of a bottle, but I saw it like this, so it kind of looked like a flower to me. So again, use that, maybe if I can find a nice single fake flower, a small one, to put through the center and have it pop up. I thought that'd be cute. The other bottles that I got, these 2. This just has a B on the bottom. USA 70 TC West Company. I'm not sure. I did pick up another small one. I'm letting it soak, but I can show you because it has stuff inside. This little guy. And then for the brown bottles, 14.2 with some kind of symbol on the side. I don't know if you can see. And this one has 2DRB2. You can see how it's kind of getting that wear from being in the water and then tumbling. These will probably look good for Halloween. But as I mentioned in my video, it was funny because the smaller bottles remained intact, while the smaller and the larger bottles were the ones that stayed intact, while the medium-sized bottle seems to be the one that suffered the most damage. I have seen photos of people that have found great old bottles from, 1920s intact, but I wasn't fortunate enough to find them. Now for the shards of pottery. I try to be selective in what I picked based on color and print, because you could come back with buckets from there, but I didn't want to do that because I don't have a reason to. So this piece I picked up mostly because it had lettering on it, S-U-N. Sun, sunrise, Sunday, who knows. There's that piece. Some just solid color, a nice pink piece. This doesn't have the maker's mark. You can't see that on the back. Some of these you can, which is why I picked them up. This one just says Hark. Now I wonder what this design would have been, the rest of it, and which way it went, and what it was of. This red piece, I envision this is probably a figure, a piece of a figure. This is really worn down. You can't cut yourself at all on this. This nice brown and green piece. And then on the other side, there's actually a very faint flower print. This I had mentioned in the video. It was the compact lid. You probably can't see it on there. Too bad it wasn't the whole compact. That would have been neat. Another nice green piece. Again, you can never go wrong with green. The handle of a teacup. Of course I had to pick that up because I had to do a tea. Some other interesting shards with neat colorings. This is probably a really pretty plate at some point with the pattern. Some pretty flower patterns, this one. And this other one with the nice greens and the pinks. I did take that leaf thing. It was green. This one has a part of it, something city pottery. It was Garden City, but you can see the remnants of that. And some other shards. Sorry. See some other shards. There's a nice blue piece. Another red piece. This one's Winchester with a nice flower. I like this piece. First of all, because it's green and that crazing is great on it, but it just has a neat and very neat shape. It almost reminds me of like a shell, and that's why I picked it up. This piece, that was a bowl. It was interesting because on the back it says Warwick, China, Klein's, Bloomsbury, PA. So I'll have to look that Klein's up and see what it was. That was a neat find. Then the only figure that I found, it's like one of those little Dutch boys that has the pail, or no, this is a boy. Where his head went, I don't know. So he'll stay out for Halloween. And then the most surprising find was actual paper, finding ephemera. This. So this is the Dime Savings Bank of Brooklyn, Coney Island branch, Mermaid Avenue, and West 17th Street. And then on the back, there is a calendar for 1953. Again, the only reason this survived is because it's like a plastic. Otherwise, if this was paper, you know, it wouldn't have made it. So this, oh, and there's a ruler too. So this was a really neat find. You know, it made me a fiver because I said we weren't going to find ephemera, because you go to the beach or the shore and you think water, how can paper survive there? But it did. Too bad. Oh, that would have been neat if we would have found a message in a bottle. I've always wanted to find one. Those do wash up sometimes along the Jersey Shore. I think that'd be so much fun to find one of those. That's one of my goals in life. That I don't think I'll ever attain that one, but still, I think it'd be really cool to find a message in a bottle. But anyway, so this, I mean, it was fun going to Dead Horse Bay. Again, the drive there, I probably picked a bad day because it was a Saturday. The weather was beautiful, so a lot of people were going to Coney Island, which now I know how to get there, and I know that I can get there, and that I can cross the Verrazano Bridge and be okay with it. I would love to go to Coney Island and check that out. I've never been there. I've only seen postcards of it, but that would be, you know, another neat place to go and see what it is like now and what it was back then, you know, do a comparison. But yeah, I mean, if you want to go on a treasure hunt, if you would like to get some shards of pottery, you know, a few little treasures to take home, and just be in awe of everything that is there and the amount of items that are there and the years that they've been there. When you think 1953, this, and it's 2019, and it was there right on the shoreline. You know, definitely check it out. Bring a bagged lunch. There are restrooms at the Floyd Bennett Field, the main little entrance area where you can park. There's a restroom there. No soap, so bring your hand sanitizer or your own like towelettes to wash your hands. But at least there is a restroom. But easy walk to get to the shore. You know, you don't have to cut through brush. It's just a little path through the, you know, the woods, I guess, or the brush, the trees. But it's nice because there are birds, and then you can faintly hear the sound of the water. So it was definitely a good trip. You know, big thanks to the my viewers that suggested that I go there. It was a great suggestion, and I'm glad that I went. So if any of you want to check out Dead Horse Bay, just Google it. There's a lot of stuff on there. There's some other YouTube videos and some great photographs of the items and the treasures that people have found. So I hope you enjoyed this little adventure with me. And, you know, stay tuned for hopefully more adventures to different places and to see, you know, the history that we can find. So thank you all for watching. And until next time, I hope you have a great day.